crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm Georgia and so happy that you could join us today. We have a hello and a thank you card to show you today. We're very excited about that. So let's head down to the crafting table. I want to share a saying with you and then we'll get busy. Our saying for the day is, pray so big and so often that when God meets you at heaven's gate, He says with a smile, "Kid, you kept me very busy." And I know that I am keeping God very busy. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let's get busy crafting. Our star of the show is Enjoy the Moment. We love these decorations. They turned out so pretty in a card, and we can't wait to show you. The first thing you're going to need to do is cut a 5.5 by 4 1/4 card to give you your base. You'll need to take a piece of paper, and this paper for our mat, our first mat, we cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And remember, all the dimensions will be listed below, and the instructions will be listed over on our blog. So we're going to get us our inks that we're going to use, and for today we are using Soft Suede, Old Olive, Calypso Coral, and Pretty Peacock. And the first part of the card that we're going to stamp is that beautiful flower. Oh, it is so pretty, and we're going to go ahead and stamp that in Soft Suede. Now we're not picking up the stem right here, we're just going to pick up this part of the flower. So let's just stamp, and I like to stamp off just to make sure that it is as dark as I want it. Okay, good. Okay, I'm just going to put it right here in this corner, and I'm going to hold it down for good contact, just so that all that color gets on our mat. Look at that, so pretty. Now I'm going to do one more about right here, but I don't want the stem at all. So a good tip is to go ahead and ink it up and just take some of your painter's tape, put it over the stem just to make sure you don't get it on there. And I'm just going to float it right up here and hold it for good contact. Now this is a very simple card because it's just a SIP card, stamp, ink, and paper. Now I'm going to bring in some branches, and I'm just going to stamp right here. Hold it down. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I think I will now bring in some green, and I'm going to use the Old Olive and bring in some branches just on the side right here. I tell you, this makes a beautiful background. Next, I'm going to bring in the bigger branches, and I'm going to go ahead and leave that Old Olive open and get that stamped right on the side. Now I'm going to bring in my Pretty Peacock, and we're going to bring in these beautiful flowers. Look how pretty they are. Now I have put the stem off because I'm not going to use much of the stem. And I'm going to bring in some Pretty Peacock right here. I think I'm going to go ahead and tilt it just a little bit. Oh, look at that. Now I need some right here because there's an empty spot, right? So I'm just going to bring those in. There. The next thing I need to do is bring in some pine cones. I'm going to bring those in my Soft Suede. And this is a large pine cone, so I'm going to stamp him off just a little bit. And then I'm going to do the smaller one and stamp him on because he's much smaller. Okay. Now I need to put that little flower, I think, right up there. So I'm going to bring him in again and just get the very tip of him, just right here. Okay. Now we have one more arrangement that we want to stamp. These are so pretty, and we are going to stamp that in Calypso Coral. Just to build our background. And now we're going to add some dots in the peacock. So we're just going to add some. Oh, don't you love that? I love this stamp. It really adds dimension. Okay. And now, you know, it's all about the card that you select that really makes it pop. And we've decided on Cajun Craze to give it a different color border, right? So we're going to go ahead and get this glued down. And I'm going to use my silicone mat so I don't get glue on anything. And I like this because it's a quick card, right? You don't have to spend a lot of time. And you can really use this template for any stamp set that you have. This piece of paper is going to go on our inside, and because we want to stamp it just a little bit, we're going to go ahead and bring back in a piece of paper so we don't ink up our table. And I'm going to bring back in the pretty peacock. Now we need the front sentiment, and we are going to use hello. Of course, you can use any sentiment you want. You'll need to just take a piece of paper, because we have a punch for this, and pick up a color that maybe isn't prominent, so to really make it pop, we're going to go ahead and use Cajun Craze, because I really like that. Now we're going to use our punch, turn it upside down, get it lined up. We are going to make a border to go around it just to make it a little bit bigger and to make it pop. And so we punch this out, and we're just going to split it right down the middle. Now we are going to get our glue and just a little bit right down here at the bottom. And just create an additional border around. I just think that is so pretty. Okay, there we have it. Now we're going to set that up on dimensionals, and I have a few more cards to show you that we made. So let's go ahead and get 4 dimensionals on the back of this, right on the ends. And now just let's decide where we want it. Okay. So here's our card that we created today, just a very simple hello card. We also did another one, a thank you card, that is so nice, using the same stamp set. Now, this is another thank you card that we used, and we tried to create a different background. We brought our ornamental decorations up the middle, just a little bit different. Now look at this style. Here's a little different one. We of course used our rectangular cutouts to create some dimension, right? And so we set them up on dimensionals, and we put a little bow there. So I think that one turned out really nice. Just a quick card in case you're on the go and you need that fast card to give to someone. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. We hope that you like this design as much as we do. We want you to go out, be safe, be healthy, be creative in your crafting, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.